Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I have a great return guest. This is Tim Trader. Tim Trader, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Paul.
Since you were last here, everyone loved your last interview. I'm going to link that below, everybody. But tell everybody how many years now you've been eating a raw vegan diet.
34, uh, going really good for all that. Uh, I actually started doing more raw about a year before that, but on September 6th, 1990, I went completely raw and have not looked back.
And that is just wonderful. And I uh, interviewed you in my book, The Raw Life,
Yes.
and the previous interview I did with you, which gets into how you got into raw and why, and all this was excellent. I'm going to link that below. But today I wanted to have you back on the show and talk to you about some things that I've learned and experienced more lately that you've actually suggested to me in a previous video was about cutting back on the amount of fat that I was eating on a raw food diet. Now, before we get into that, you do coaching, or do you do coaching to help people with their diets? What are you doing now primarily?
Primarily, I work with people. I have a naturopathy degree. I have a degree in nutrition. I have other degrees, but this pertains here. Um, and so I work with people who have terminal or chronic disease. That's what I do. I don't necessarily just coach people for their um, transition into a raw food diet. I work with people who have the regular doctors have said, I can't help you anymore, or I they're not getting the results that they need. There's so many problems that nobody's really looking into. So I sit there and we go over their diet, we go over their lifestyle, we go over all the situations. Then we test, and we test pretty heavily. And when I talk about we, I don't see people as patients. I don't see people as uh, other things other than a health partner. So everybody I work with is a health partner. We partner with each other. And so when we do that, it becomes an equal so that what they can do and what they can't do, what works for them, the people know what works for them. Nobody can tell them. So I work with them to do that. Um, and the thing is, I am so blessed. I see people with autoimmune diseases reverse. I see people with cancer and where the tumors shrink and are gone when they're saying, the doctors are saying, get your will together, get your things taken care of because we can't. Anyway, it's a beautiful thing to see. Of course, we all know things like heart disease, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, I'm going to say. But even with type 1 diabetes, you see things get better. But you see diabetes reversed, you see heart disease vanished. This is the joy that I get from what I do.
Sure. And everybody, if you want, uh, Tim Trader's contact information. I'm going to put his website below in the description so you can contact him. So, like you, uh, instead of getting people just to transition to their diet, I speak to a lot of people that are sick and dealing with things, especially ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, what I suffered from.
Yeah.
And so many people today are so confused about diet because there are so many different types of diets out there. And even myself being on a all raw diet for many, many years, know that there's always room for improvement. And like I said, the last time I interviewed you, you were saying uh, the high fat way is not the way to go, and you was using the word saturated, and I'm thinking in my mind, well, the only saturated fat you can get from the raw foods is really coconut, and you're not really getting much more, and you use the word saturated. So let's just talk
Mm,
about the different types of raw diet and where the calories are coming from. So, what's your diet primarily like these days?
like, my biggest calorie is fruit. Um, it is it's everything. I am low fat. I do between 10 and 14% of my diet in fat. So fat is needed. I mean, there are essential fatty acids, and that means essential because the body can't make them. So that's really big, um, to make sure everything is in order. I get lots of greens. I mean, lots of greens, uh, from sprouts to lettuce, just some romaine lettuce or kale are big ones in but so and that's pretty much it. So it's fruit in the morning. I do a fruit and green smoothie for lunch with a big salad at night.
So that's 2 times a day?
3 times a day,
3.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I I I know that you're on a one meal a day pattern. That works for you. That's great. For me, I work out hard. I play hard. I I burn up a lot of calories, and so my stomach doesn't quite get. I mean, I have big meals. I went to a potluck one time. It was a regular potluck type thing, so I wanted to make sure I had my meal. So I brought two salads. They said, "Oh, you brought two of them. Great, enough for everybody." I went, "No, no, no. This one is mine." They thought there was a big bowl of salad was for everybody. I went, "No, no, this one's mine." So yeah, so I eat a lot of greens as well, and
So
I do
what it
fruit combine.
say that again, I was gonna ask you about food combining. Do you follow
Yeah,
food
I do
combining?
fruit combine. Uh, I do the old Sheltonian style food combining. Uh, so, uh, but so at night with my salad, I do have berries and I do have citrus because it does emulsify the fats, helps me digest the fats. Um, but and so
Is that with, before, or after your green salads?
that's with. I make a berry dressing with seeds. I don't pretty much don't do much nuts anymore, but I do seeds. Chia seed is in every salad for the omega threes, um, and maybe some sunflower seeds or some pumpkin seeds or sesame seeds or something like that. And I blend that all together, the berries and the seeds. So it makes a really nice, thick, sweet dressing. And I just put that on greens and tomatoes.
Do you soak the seeds before you use them or no?
No, I know the phytic acids situation, but I use so very little that the amount of phytates is pretty minimal. So I'm not really worried about it. And they also say that when you blend things, and you have to crush or blend chia seed. Otherwise, it goes in one way and it goes out the same. So you have to break that up. And
So when you have your berries and your citrus, is it usually in a dressing or sometimes it's chopped up in the salad as well?
citrus can be a dessert. And we're talking a couple oranges here, maybe one.
Sure. Okay, so on average, I mean, I don't know if you're counting calories, but how many do you assume or suspect you're getting each day?
I run about 3,000 calories. When I get really into heavy workouts, I might run 3,500 calories.
Okay. And everybody, Tim has been doing this a long time to find out this is what's working for him. Based
Right.
on people's lives, some people might need more or less based on their life.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's what number one. What can you do? A lot of times, I won't even tell people to go raw. If I can get more fruits and veggies into them, period, it's a big win. Now, when they say, "Oh, this really works," what's next? Oh, I've got them, and so we can keep going. So,
exactly. Okay. So three things we're going to talk about here that you mentioned that are important. The first one is
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.